So, welcome to a new episode of elvogto's recipe, my second episode, a new tutorial. And today I want to show you how you can create something like this, like a nice chromy signature for everything you want. And of course, I want to show you my brand new elvogto shop. Check it out. I appreciate every support. And now we can start with the Chrome font. First step, what we make is you can draw on paper or you can digitally draw. And I made something like this. It's just a signature or a tag. Just draw it on paper, make a photo with your smartphone or scan it and bring it to Adobe Illustrator. What you do now is selecting this picture. Make sure it has enough contrast, like white and black or something like this. You can, of course, manipulate it in Photoshop if you want. And then you go to Object, Image Trace, Make and Expand. Okay. And what Illustrator does is it makes a vector graphic out of it. And what we have to do now is clean it up a little bit. So I'm not a big fan of Illustrator, so I bring this in Adobe InDesign. I press Ctrl C. We go to InDesign, Ctrl V. And now you see we have our object. And what we do now is pressing Ctrl, Shift and G to ungroup everything. And now you can see you have every layer separately. So we delete everything we don't need. Something like this. I don't want this thing here. Just take this. Let's just, by pressing Shift, you can select everything. So I select the white parts. And now you can press Ctrl X to delete everything. Clean it up a little bit. Looks great. Now we have everything selected. We can press Ctrl G to group. And yeah, you have something cool to work. You have a vector graphic of your signature. That's pretty helpful in some cases. Now we switch to Photoshop. We press Ctrl C again to copy. We go to Photoshop and make a new file. Let's do 3000 by 3000 pixels, a resolution of 300. No artboards, create, and now we have our new file. The background color, as you can see here, is black, so we can press Ctrl Backshift to select the background color, and now we can work here. We bring our graphic, our signature here, to by pressing Ctrl V and pressing Enter. And now we can manipulate or transform our signature a little bit because I'm not super happy with the shape. We go to, we go to Edit, Transform, and you can see warp is not selectable. What we have to do is we go on our Vector Smart object, press right click and convert to Smart object. Now we can go to Edit, Transform, and you can see warp is selectable. Is that a word? Okay. And we can just transform it a little bit, maybe like this. Yep, I'm happy with this. Pressing enter. And you can also transform it by pressing Ctrl T, holding Shift, and make it maybe something like this. Okay. What we want now is making our base. We pressing Control, or we holding Control and clicking our Vector Smart object. So we're selecting everything. We clicking this plus sign here, making a new layer, switching our colors, and we select this white and give it a slight grayish touch. Pressing OK. Background color is our slightly grayish whitish color. Our new layer is selected, and we pressing Control and Backshift. So we had our selection, and now the selection is filled with our new color. We don't need our dark Vector Smart object, so just drag this in our bin. Deselect everything, Control D. And what we do now is, with our layer selected, we go to Effects, Blending Options, and Bevel and Emboss. So depends on your on the thickness. You can play around with the depth and the size, and make it look like chrome, like chrome liquid stuff. Make sure this gloss contour is you select this one, because when you select something like this or this, it doesn't look real. This is the best choice, I think. And what you can do now is you can play with the opacity of the white, but we keep it to 100 and play around with the black parts. This is too much black. I think something like this is cool. And yeah, we can go and play around with other options. Let's see what we have here. We can maybe give it a slightly outer glow. Yeah, it's white, but make the opacity very, very low. Maybe something like 14 is good. We're pressing OK. And we drag and drop this layer on the plus sign to copy it. We switch off the effects by clicking this eye symbol here. And now we go to Filter. Am I right? Filter. Yeah, here. I search for the blur, the Gaussian blur. And let's see. We're making something like 18 in this case is good. Okay. We put our new layer underneath. And now we can press Ctrl T and drag with our arrow keys or with our mouse and give it a slight shadow, or in this case a white glow, and bring it a little bit in another direction, maybe like this. And now of course it's way too much, so we go down with the opacity to something like this, maybe a little bit lower. Okay. Okay, cool. So what do we need now? We need some shiny and some shiny effects on the Chrome, of course. So we go to the first layer, create another layer, a fresh layer. We take our pencil, regular size, maybe something like this, hardness down to 0, color, clean white, and we just make one dot. And now what we can do is we press Ctrl T on our dot, holding Shift, and we can transform the dot for something like this. And now we can bring this dot here. You can upscale or downscale it, of course, and place this dot on a spot where we think it's a lot of white and a lot of reflection or shine. Pressing Enter. With our layer selected, you can press Ctrl C, Ctrl V to duplicate. With our new layer selected, you can press Ctrl T and play around and bring it on some spots where you think it's a good spot. It's just by feeling. You can see where's a lot of white. There you can place it. You can also, holding Alt on your keyboard, and just drag another object. So you see here is a copy. Transform, that's what you do. You find the right spots. Ctrl T to transform and rotate it. Maybe here's a good spot. Ctrl C, Ctrl V, transform, rotate. Okay. Ctrl T. Okay, doesn't look too bad. Maybe last one here on the eyes from the smiley face. Okay, now you can see all the layers on the right side. Select the first one, holding Shift, and select the last one. So you have selected every layer you want between. Ctrl G to group them, and now you can name them Shine. So now you have it's all clean in your layer selection. You can undo it by just clicking this eye symbol. It's a little bit too hard, so we, with the Shine folder selected, we go to the opacity, bring it a little bit down. Maybe, yeah, something like this is good. 60%. So, we need some reflections, some stars to give it more shine, more chrome. So we go to this plus sign again, making a new layer. We take our pencil again, maybe this time a little bit bigger, something like this. We just make a spot, Ctrl T to transform, holding Shift, drag this until you get something like this, very small. We have our layer now. We drag and drop our layer to this plus sign. Now we have a copy above this above this layer. Now we press Ctrl T, holding Shift, and rotate it until you have 90 degrees. Enter, and you have a beautiful star now. What we do now is our two star layers selected with Shift, Control E on your keyboard, and we have one layer. We take this layer on the plus sign again. Now we press Control T, rotate it, but this time 45 degrees, and we bring it down a little bit. Of course, we put this in the middle. Beautiful. Our two layers, holding Shift, select the second one, Control E, so it's just one layer. On this layer, we go with the pencil, make the size a little bit smaller and bring a little shine, maybe something like this. And now we have a perfect reflection, star, whatever you would call it. Control T and bring it on some shiny spots where you think it's good to show. You can press Alt, duplicate it by drag and drop. Give it maybe here a spot. Like I said, you can do it with your Alt key, but sometimes you can't grab it, see? So that's why I sometimes press Control T. Oops. Control T, yeah. So you have a lot better control about your actions. Control V, Control T. Oops. No. What's this? Control T. No. Here's a good spot. Oops. Okay, I think it looks pretty cool. Our first layer selected, holding Shift, select our last layer, and Control G to group them, and we call it stars. Okay, perfect. Our last action is, so now when we look on our Chrome effect, it looks a little bit grayish, just black and white. But for the illusion of a real Chrome, or for a crispy Chrome, you can add some blue. So we go on our adjustment layer, this black and white circle here on the right. We go to color balance, and now we can just drag it a little bit to the cyan, and on this last one a little bit on the blue. You can do it like you want. If this is too much for you, just drag it down a little bit. I think this is cool. You can also go with curves and see what this looks like. But I think we are good. You can always see the difference by clicking this eye symbol. Oh, we don't need curves here. So don't forget to save your project, and I think we are good now. Of course, what you can do is when you save this file, you can apply this effect on everything you want. When you go, for example, let's make a new layer. You take a pencil or a new graphic, and I don't know, YouTube. Okay, also graphics, maybe something like a smiley face. Yeah, okay, perfect. We have this on a separate layer, and we can go with our mouse over FX, holding Alt, and we drag and drop this FX on our new layer. And you see this effect is perfectly applied from our start. Of course, you need to adjust the stars and the shine and everything. And you can separately go to effects on our new layer, go to bevel and emboss. And in this case, our line is a little bit thicker, so you can play around with the depth, with the size, and make it look good. Okay, so perfect. I hope I can help you guys with increase your skills and maybe show you some new ways in creating. I think it's a cool way to make your signature look cool without using some complicated 3D programs or stuff. And if you have any question or critic, you can put it down in the comments, or you can text me, chat with me on Instagram. My name is elvogto. You will find it in the description as well. And of course, please, I appreciate every support. So share this video with your friends, like this video, put comments on this video. And yeah, like I said, if you have any questions, ask me anytime. Text me on Instagram, add me on Instagram. Thank you, and I really appreciate you. And I think we see each other next time with another tutorial. Stay safe. Thanks a lot, and bye-bye. I forgot to add something. I made an album, it's called Danny. It's available on every music platform. And please check it out if you don't have it already. Thanks a lot for all the people who checked it out and give me feedback. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much, and have a nice day, have a great day, have a good night. Bye-bye.